Hey guys, how are you doing? I've seen this hashtag draw this in your style trend all over Instagram, and I decided to do it as well because I think it's so much fun. And here you see the picture that I decided to draw or paint. It's from Destiny Blue, which is an Instagram account, and I really love that picture. I love the idea and I thought that it would be a lot of fun to paint this one. She also had a contest, but I'm kind of late, so I didn't really enter it. But well, it's okay. The people that won are way better than me, anyways. But that's no reason not to try it. So I'm here now. You see me sketching, and I wasn't really that happy with it in the beginning, but it got better at the end. Now I'm making the sketch very light so you can barely even see it anymore. And I'm starting to add watercolor, and I'm adding a watercolor background, and I wanted it to be extremely flat. And of course I messed it up because I started on the left side and now I'm painting on the right side, and now of course you see the overlap. Should have thought about this in the beginning, but I kind of fixed it, and I fixed it more in the end, so it looks kind of flat. And I'm thinking about buying some gouache paints, so maybe I can do stuff like this a little bit more flat just for the background or parts of the painting. Maybe I can mix those with watercolor. Maybe I will try those soon. And at first, she had a beautiful forehead. And then I thought that the forehead was too big, which it wasn't, but I thought that it was. I had been looking at this piece for way too long. And then I decided to make her forehead shorter, which was a big mistake. And yeah, you see me making a mistake here. And here's the next mistake because I wanted her to have a little bit of neck, but then I painted over it with blue, and then she would either have a blue neck or her hair would be all over the place, and I decided that her hair had to be all over the place. And now she has hair where there isn't really supposed to be hair, but hey, she has so much hair that it even goes over her neck. Okay, it comes from the side. Here I'm adding the fish, or I was adding the fish. I'm painting so fast, okay? It's sped up 10 times because otherwise this video would be super long and I can't even follow it along now. I can't even tell you what I'm doing, but you see what I'm doing. So I feel like I'm talking super fast as well. Here the forehead was still okay, but you will see it. It will definitely come because I had those strands, mini bangs, whatever here, and then I kind of ruined it. And yeah, here it is. Yeah, now her forehead is way too short. It looks kind of strange if you look at it too long. And do you know the ugly stage of a painting when you haven't added the line art yet or the finishing touches and it looks kind of creepy? Yeah, that's it. It looks so creepy. Look at her eyes. Yeah, and I did hair, and more hair. This piece is kind of 90% just hair, and I really, really like painting hair, but it's so much, and in the end I was glad that I was done because it was just so much, and I wanted it to look like waves, like the ocean, and therefore I spent a lot of time with it, and I liked it, but it got a little bit boring in the end. I listened to some music and it was okay then. And here you see me adding the line art because I just couldn't take it anymore. It looked so creepy. I wanted to wait for the line art until the end, and maybe not do so much line art because I just wanted it to be the finishing touches, but I just couldn't stand looking at this any longer. And yeah, then I gave her a face in my style. I'm still trying to find and create my style. I think that this process really never ends when you are an artist. Your style will always be changing, but it hasn't been such a long time since I started finding my style, so it's really not that done yet. And yeah, that's where it is at the moment. I think you can definitely tell that this is my piece, that I did it, but it's not really where I want my style to be in the end. So I'm still practicing and trying to improve. By the way, this is the second piece that I'm doing in this watercolor journal, and I'm so looking forward to filling it, and I'm so looking forward to seeing the improvement from the beginning to the end, because the sketchbook that I currently have is just a regular sketchbook with a bit thicker paper, but not watercolor paper. And I do mainly sketches in there, and I don't really use a lot of colors. So that's kind of something new for me. I have been doing watercolor pieces as well, but not in a sketchbook. So I haven't done that many of them, and not in this size. It's very small. If you look at it, it's like A5, a little bit like an A5 size. And yeah, it's so small, and it's quite hard to draw small faces. I always think that drawing bigger faces is so much easier. You can add so many details, and it's not a big deal if you do something wrong. Whereas if you paint just 1 millimeter on the left side and her eye is just a little bit more on the left side, it looks super strange. You have to be so diligent, and you have to think about everything you do. So it's very hard to draw smaller. But I like the challenge, and I really, really, really love working in books. I really love flipping through the book in the end and say that I've created that, and I've drawn or painted every bit that's in there, and I also journal in there, and I just love it. It's a book that my life, it's documenting my life and the styles that I have at the moment and the things that I aspire to learn. And it's it's kind of a part of me, even though it isn't really, but it's a place where I can be myself, and it's a place where I can calm down and chill a little bit. And I just love that so much about the book when you open it and you kind of feel at home in a sketchbook. And that's why I love to work in it, even though it's small. And of course, there are bigger sketchbooks, but I choose the smaller ones because I can take them with me when I like, and it's way easier to carry them with me. And if I had a bigger one, I couldn't bring it with me, and I feel like it would take forever for me to fill it, because it would just be finished pieces that I do at home. And I feel like if I want to work on a larger scale, then I want to do it on separate pieces, because then I can hang it on the walls, and eventually I can sell those pieces. And a sketchbook is still for learning and just trying out new stuff, and that's why I don't buy a bigger sketchbook. I might eventually buy a bigger one in the future. I'm not totally against that, but at the moment that's my scale. I found that A5 is the thing that I can fill up. So here I'm removing the tape, and I'm adding a little bit of details to the background, a little bit of bubbles. I don't know if I like it more with or without those. I'm still not sure. I kind of don't like them, but I kind of do. I thought that those purple colors were a little bit galaxy, but I didn't want to add a galaxy around the water. It would just have been too much. And then you see me adding a little bit of line in the end, but my camera stopped there and I didn't want to charge it because it was just a little bit of line. And here you see the finished piece compared to my inspiration. And yeah, did it in my style. I really like the original, but my version turned out quite okay, and I'm still trying to improve. And one day I will look back at this video and be like, oh my god, I'm totally closer to my style, and I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I'm having a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I wish you a very nice day. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And until next time, goodbye.